quarter acres, please. We have tomatoes, also trees. Hello, family. Uh, we're out on this nice, beautiful day, dealing with all this quarantine nonsense. We're quite bummed out we can't see anyone at the moment, so we're gonna film a little of our day to day, let you know what's going on in the yard, and you know, hopefully you guys are well. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, family.
Yeah. So here, there's fish that I just scared off by pointing out
And
fish.
there's more.
The dogs are over there. They're trying to get to the compost. They love eating garbage. Apparently they think we're homeless. That's okay. This is a clay kiln that I actually made in the fall. I've been using it to fire homemade bricks. We'll get to that. Some of them worked, some of didn't. So I learned about this the fun way. It's actually horseradish coming up there. Put that in last year. Over by the side of the driveway, we have this beautiful flowering patch left over by the previous homeowners. And up there, some kind of mystery tree of purple flowers. Very lovely. And the end of my stick, these are actually strawberries coming up quite nicely. They were put in 2 years ago. And over here, you'll notice that these with the white flowers, I think is arugula that came back from last year on its own. And kind of self-seeded, and we got some free arugula, which is nice. And these bushes, oh, this is hard to hold. These bushes here are our blueberry bushes. This one the previous homeowners put in, so it's over 3 years old. Get a lot of blueberries out of it. This one is like, I don't know, 12 hours old. I put it in yesterday. And there's a very tiny one coming up here, which is very exciting. Of course, like a fool, I put mint in the ground so you can see growing up at the crack of the basement window and along the sides of the house. It's just tons of mint, which I'll have all the fun just ripping out. Sage comes back year after year, which is nice. And here on this table, we got some onion and leek and shallot starts. Hopefully I can put those in the ground soon. On the other side of the door, this is parsley that came back from last year. It survived the winter because we barely had a winter. And oregano just comes back year after year after year. And then up this trellis, this is a Cabernet Sauvignon grapevine. Hasn't really started budding yet, but it's always late to the game, so that's not too weird. As we walk over, one thing I'm excited about is last year I put in a little rhubarb bulb in the ground, and it's actually popping up quite nicely. Next to that, that's a cold hardy fig from last year, and another cold hardy fig from last year. And of course, that's the Italian fig I got from a cutting from you, Dad, and it's doing quite well. I do have to cover it up tonight because it's going to get down to 31 degrees. Now here's the front walled section of the house, this next to the driveway, and then this on the other side. That big wall I put in first, this one I put in second, and then in between the two, of course, I got the nice archway trellis. That was from last year. These are scallions that just went nuts. I put them in last year, they survived the winter, and they're the biggest scallions I've ever seen. The bed behind that, that's going to be where tomatoes go. And then there we got a nice Japanese maple that reliably comes back every year. And on this side of the wall, this is actually a bunch of garlic I put in October. It's doing very well. Again, not really winter this year. And then that's just little cats in a basket. Very cute. This grapevine here is a Concord vine. And it's hard to tell, but this one is being very aggressive in its budding. You can actually see the buds coming up. And down here, this is a cold hardy kiwi vine, which I put in last year. I thought died and is now coming up. Hopefully this year I get kiwis. As far as fruit trees go, that white flowering tree is actually a plum tree I put in yesterday. Looks nice, fingers crossed we get plums. And then over at the side of the yard, This has all been pretty new. That front arbor I just put in about a week ago. That arbor in the back made out of twigs, that was put in pretty recently too. And down in this bed, put in a bunch of radish. Here we have broccoli rabe. Over here we have spinach and Swiss chard. And maybe you can see it, but the asparagus is finally coming up in the asparagus bed. Right there. Yeah, you can see them. They're coming up. And then along the wall, well, down here, this is where the potatoes go. You know, world's ending, so you gotta plant potatoes. Got some peas, got carrots under those boards. This is a peach tree, which I'm very excited about. It just flowers beautifully every year. This is only its second year, so hopefully we get peaches. That's a Honeycrisp apple tree. Probably won't get apples from it this year. This little guy over here is exciting. This is a apple tree from seed. This is its second year in the ground outside. Maybe we'll get apples in another year. Most likely it'll take another 3 to 4 years to actually get any apples from it. And being wild apples, I have no idea what it'll be. This is a pink lady apple. It's getting some nice blooms on it, starting to put out leaves. This is a Reliance peach. It's supposed to be cold hardy. It's putting up some nice flowers. And this is a Golden Delicious apple tree. Same thing, putting out buds. No flowers yet, but looks like it's doing very healthy. That's a new plant bed I just put in today. And back here, we're gonna have some nice tall, well, there's some peas in the ground already. And then we're gonna have some nice tall Jerusalem artichokes eventually. And beans later in the season. And here's that twig harbor I was telling you about earlier. And over in the corner, this is where all the beets are gonna go. So the planting season, despite everything else, is going quite nice. And sorry we can't visit you guys. Hopefully you'll see you soon when this weird stuff blows over. Amanda, you want to say anything?
Love you guys. Everybody stay healthy and wash your hands, and we'll see you soon.
Love you too. Bye, guys.